Morning, it's 8:08, it's the 18th of January. This could be a long one, so either sit in and listen or put it off till later, but this could be a long one. I've just done an hour-long consultation with someone on Skype in Australia, and I'm sat here and there's 4 or 5 inches of snow outside my window and there's big chunks coming down, and they're in plus 45 degrees and surreal. What a crazy planet we live in and with and on. Astronomy is the study of the movements of the planets and stars in the heavens. Astrology is the study of the effects of those movements. And I extend astrology to involve cosmology, involving anything that one perceives as having to do with the heavens. The phenomena I've tried to focus on, the impossibilities of recent days. Okay, how can little lumps of rock 4 billion miles away have such a profound effect upon the human psyche? Okay, by working with quantum, by working with homeopathic signals, I do get this, I can get this, fine, alright. How can crop circles happen in specific areas of the world, normally those steeped in magic and myth and legend? And how can grains of corn, sticks of corn, with extremely fragile stems be bent at 90 degrees but continue growing? And how can the molecular structure of these corn stalks be changed such as they are? Well, I imagine in some form there is a technology that could do this, but having been in so many, it is a mystery, even though I've got a pretty damn good idea of how it's done myself. How can landscape shaping be so precise as I demonstrated yesterday? How can it be that the shorelines of land masses and the height of the sea relating to those land masses is such that it provides such perfect geometric patterns? How can that be? It implies an engineering degree on a geophysical level of such scope that it's inconceivable. And even bigger, how can it be that the position of the planets in the heavens, their distance from each other and their orbital patterns relating to each other produce such incredible accurate geometry relating to the 5 main solids? You know, the tetrahedron, the cube, the octahedron, the dodecahedron, the icosahedron, they're all here. They're in crop circles, they're in planetary orbital patterns, they're in planetary relationships to themselves, and they're in all elements of sacred geometry. There's something here. How can these things be? Modern science poo-poos all of this because they're too damn scared to look at it. As an astrologer stroke cosmologist who's interested in phenomena not just pertaining to the surface of the earth but emanating from those areas above or beyond or outside of that horizontal frame of reference, I have to look, or try to look, at the bigger picture. And it seems to me that the number of impossibilities that influence us directly and measurably is such that it challenges the way that I've always seen the world and the way I've been brought up to believe the world as being. As those of you who know my writings and know my previous stuff go, you know that I'm also an eschatologist. I work with a lot of stuff around this notion of the end of the world and the approaching cataracts of time, the approaching nexus point of transcendence. I work with the acceleration of evolution, based on the numbers of people on planet relating to the acceleration in technology and spirituality, tripling since I've been born. And it seems that as consciousness expands, so our ability to see the bigger picture, both on and off planet, expands. And in order for these impossibilities to be real, and yet for me, as an individual, to be able to even begin to grasp the overall pattern that lies behind, I have to step out of the way I've been taught and instead realise actually what I know is so little. The more you know, the less you know. And that outside of that learned knowledge, there is an area that can only loosely be described as magic, where Science doesn't work, but where pattern and shape and form and intuition and love flow. I sense this in every horoscope. I sense this in the crop circles. I sense this in the stellar patterns and the planetary orbital patterns in the sky. And all of these patterns are like a clock. And they are winding to a time. And they are dragging certain people on this planet with them on an accelerated path of consciousness expansion. It's going to lead to a crunch point for us as a species. And it's going to happen within the space of most of our lifetimes. Our minds are opening, our consciousness is expanding, and hopefully with it, we can move beyond what I see as this three-dimensional prison. Okay, come back and do some astrology later. All right, bye.